The relationship between APS and MRP. This video explains the relationship between APS production planning and MRP and the differences in their roles. When there are restrictions on the use of inventory based on grade, specification, storage location, warehouse, etc., you can manage them using conditional formulas that can be set for each item. You can choose from a list of formulas, or you are free to set up a variety of formulas. You can set up a conditional expression that ties inventory to demand. You can set that a certain order can only be dispatched from a certain warehouse. Look at the Asprova Gantt chart shown in the figure. You can see that the line leaving the warehouse extends to the specified order which specified the warehouse. If warehouse A is out of stock and warehouse B is in stock, MRP will determine that there is a shortage and generate an automatic replenishment order. In this way, even if the work specification or the core system has a special draw on inventory, you can create this conditional formula to deal with this situation. So far, we have introduced MRP's functions. Here is an organized explanation of Asprova's APS functions and MRP functions. There is no direct relationship between APS production planning and MRP's ownership volume deployment. Asprova executes MRP function by called explode orders command, and does not execute the APS scheduling logic at this point. Asprova generates manufacturing orders and purchase orders based on the customer orders and inventory. The manufacturing and purchase orders generated by automatic replenishment functions. These works are almost the same as general MRP. Therefore, many users use ERP's MRP and put the results into Asprova. Basically, general MRP is a quantity planning system that determines how many units are to be produced by when. However, it does not take into account the exact equipment load or detailed production conditions. So the plan cannot guarantee that production is actually possible or efficient, and can't and from machine operators detail schedules with certain end time. By using Asprova APS's accurate scheduling function, you can know if you can keep the delivery time set by MRP, or if you will be able to meet time frames. MRP basically plans how many items to produce by how many days. Asprova APS can plan more. Specify equipment, lines, workers, molds, jigs. Specify all task start and end time, setup or changeover times. Make work instruction table for all operators. It is difficult to understand the actual operational results just by looking at the auto-replenished orders. So next, I will show you how to check using the PSI table. Difference between APS and MRP management. MRP manages quantitative relationships based on fixed lead times. APS manages the linkages and ties between orders one by one based on exactly when they can be produced. For example, there are three demands: 120, 110, and 130 units. You see 400 parts are needed the one day before. 500 units needed to be manufactured 2 days before. As you can see from the inventory in the PSI table, MRP manages the minimum quantity and date to avoid shortages. Also, you can see this kind of relationship for each order. However, you don't need to produce on the verge of demand, or your necessary machine might not be available as used another order at the verge of demand. Asprova APS makes it clear. We often produce the same items in batches to reduce setups. In other words, APS makes it more realistic and efficient to coordinate production.